This is obviously a different spot. We're gonna go into like a really short story. Well, obviously it's Valentine's Day week. Yay! My mom and my sister both work at a floral shop, so they're gone like all week for work and stuff. I can't go downstairs to film because my dogs are obnoxious and they will like poop on everything and get into everything. I'm just going to be filming up here for this video. Today I'm going to be doing a what I read in January kind of, and like books that I'm going to be reading and kind of like what I'm reading right now. So just a book video, I guess. I think I read like 8 or 9 books in January. I'm not going to talk about like all of them because obviously there's quite a few books in there. One of the first ones that I read was The Unbecoming of Dyer. I already read the first 2 books of this series. I don't think that the 3rd book was out yet. I had been wanting to reread it for like forever, and then finally I figured out that it was out and that the 3rd book was out too. So I was like, oh, you know, well, I'm gonna like reread it because obviously like I love the Dyer series. I actually don't have this book in physical copy, so I just read it on my phone. I don't really like reading books on my phone, but we don't have like a good bookstore really here. Like it's mostly like older books. I don't really have like updated stuff, and our library isn't even really good, you know. Small town probs. Not really like the type to just go and like buy a book that I don't really know about. Like it's kind of like a spontaneous thing for me to do. Obviously I don't want to like to waste the money and then not like the book. It's kind of like a supernatural-ish kind of book. Her and all of her friends went out like to this abandoned building. The building collapsed and she was unharmed, but all of her friends died. She basically has a lot of trauma from that and a lot of like issues, and she's kind of like seeing things, and she ends up moving to Florida, I believe. I think it's Florida she moves to, and she meets a guy there, and like they kind of like, you know, relate with their issues and stuff. They kind of like uncover different, you know, mysteries about like what happened to the building and stuff. So I don't know, I think it's really cool because it's kind of like a supernatural mystery kind of book, and there's like, you know, for people who like romance, there's that little bit of romance in there. Another series that I started reading after that, which I also read online, is the Die For Me series. This girl who, her parents died and she lived in New York, and then her parents died, so she and her sister moved to Paris and they're living with their grandparents, and there's like all these people, like I'm not sure how you say it, revenants, I'm not sure. There's actually no movie with Leonardo DiCaprio about like the revenants, not that series, but so yeah, but it's like revenants, which is basically like people who die and come back to life. So yet again, like another kind of supernatural story. I love supernatural kind of stuff. And like this girl falls in love with this guy who, you know, he's a revenant, so he dies and comes back to life. All the problems that they kind of face in their relationship, because obviously, you know, her boyfriend can die and come back to life. I mean, I'd be like, okay. And there's kind of like a little like love triangle plot twist thing, except it's kind of one-sided. Like there's actually another book that the author made in his perspective, and he likes this girl but she's in love with his friend and blah 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 blah. Yeah, so basically there's like a bunch of like a group of revenants and stuff, and there's just multiple different things that they have to do and learn and stuff. So you know, you gotta have those plot twists in the novel. But I don't know, like it's really cute, like the relationship is really cute, but I actually love like books where like there's a plot twist, like you don't expect them ending up with someone else. So I haven't actually finished the series. I'm on the 3rd book, so I haven't finished it yet, but I am really close to finishing it. It wasn't the most intriguing series that I've read, but it was pretty good. I had a better time with the first 2 books. I had a little bit of trouble with the 2nd book. The 3rd book, it's taking me a while longer to read, but yeah, it's a pretty good series. I would recommend it. It wasn't my favorite series ever, but it wasn't like a bad series. So another book that I read, I do have a physical copy, and I was spontaneous, and I did just buy this even though I didn't know anything about it. Obviously I love this book because I marked the hell out of it. I mean, like, ugh. I love when books have like really intriguing writing. Like their writing is like really good. Like a lot of books just like, you know, it sticks straight to this plot. There's not really like a lot of like taking time to like, you know, really describe the emotion and the setting and like stuff like that. So I really love this book because it did really go into like super like Tumblr way of speaking, you know, like when you see like those really cool quotes on Tumblr and like you're just like, wow, that's so cool. This is kind of what that book, like the writing was kind of like that. So I'll read the back thing here. He's always dressed in black, his head down and shaggy black hair falls in his eyes, but when Gavin looks up at Delilah, his dark eyes shadowed with bluish circles seem to flicker to life. A lifelong fascination with him has been a mixture of longing and bear-like protectiveness because he lives in that house, the one at the edge of town. Spooky and maybe haunted. Delilah thinks it might be something worse than haunted. Gavin tells Delilah he's hers completely, but whatever lives with him inside that house disagrees. So basically it's about this girl who, she was younger, she really liked this guy, basically she's been obsessed with this guy for a while, and then she moves, and she comes back, and she's really outgoing and like super blunt, just kind of like, I like you. The guy's kind of like quiet and reserved, and he doesn't really, you know, talk to that many people, so, but he lives in this house, and she kind of learns more about it. She learns more about him. They kind of start dating. He ends up going to this house, and it's like he doesn't have, like, his parents don't live with him for as long as he knows. Like, this house has raised him. Like, the things in the house can kind of like move, and it's just kind of like cool and like almost like a haunted house kind of thing. And I don't know, I think it's like a super interesting book. Like, it's just kind of different, and it's like something that you've never read before. Like, so many, like, there's a lot of books that's just kind of like the same thing over and over again. Not that it's not a good series or it's not a good book, but it's just kind of like, you know, this repetitive kind of topic, or even like kind of genre. So I really like this one. Obviously, like, I marked it up, I underlined things, so like I really truly enjoyed this book, and it was a super quick read because it was so good. Yeah, I never even mentioned what it's called. It's called The House by Christina Lauren. Also, the Unbecoming Amara Dyer series is by Michelle Hawkins, maybe? My For Me series is by Amy Plum. I'm reading the last Die For Me book. Also, I've started reading this book called The Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. I'll just read the little inside cover here. Gemma Doyle isn't like other girls with impeccable manners, who speak when spoken to, who remember their station, who dance with grace, and who will lie back and think of England when it's required of them. No, 16-year-old Gemma is an island unto herself, sent to the Spence Academy in London after tragedy strikes her family in India. Lonely, guilt-ridden, and prone to visions of the future that have an uncomfortable habit of coming true, Gemma finds herself in a reception, a chilly one. She's not completely alone, though. She's been followed by a mysterious young man sent to warn her to close her mind against the visions. For it's at Spence Gemma's powers to attract the supernatural unfolds. There she becomes entangled with the school's most powerful girls and discovers her mother's connection to the shadowy, timeless group called the Order. It's there that her destiny waits, if only Gemma can believe it. This is a really super good book so far. I haven't quite finished it. There's much left. Read this much. This girl can like see visions into the future, and she's like trying to get them to stop. For a while, like, she's learning different things at this academy, and she's meeting these different people, learning different things about her powers. And there's just kind of like the school drama stuff, and there's also like the vision drama, trying to get that stuff to stop. Well, I have been reading, I'm not going to touch on this one too much, but I have this really cute little copy of A Tale of Two Cities that I have really been enjoying. Older books like this, like, they're kind of difficult to read. I'm actually reading this book for school, but I actually kind of like this one. It's pretty good so far. I kind of have to like Google some of the stuff, because when you like start a book like this, it's so confusing as to what's going on, because there's like these characters that they're kind of like unexplained. But I don't know, like, I do like some older books, and I think that this one is definitely like not too bad. There are like two other books that I was like wanting to read. This one, I finished The Scorched Trials like last year sometime, a few months ago, and I was like, I need to read The Death Cure. I went to the library like a few months ago, and I went to get this book, and I grabbed it off the pile. I just figured, oh, this is the next one, because it's not Maze Runner, it's not Scorched Trials, you know. Grabbed it, get home, and it's a completely different set of characters with like the same kind of like in the maze, but it's a completely different set of characters, and I'm just like no. I finally got this one again by James Dashner. Obviously you probably heard of the Maze Runner series. If not, you should totally read it and also watch the movies, because Dylan O'Brien, like, do I even need to explain it? What the series is about is like these like kids who are like put into this maze, and they like have to go through all these different trials of things. I haven't read the Scorch Trials in so long, I kind of like have like a bad memory right now. But I do know it's a bunch of kids go in a maze and there's all these different trials, and I really did like the Scorch Trials. It was super good. Actually, I can't remember if I read Maze Runner. I'm not sure if I actually read Maze Runner, but I read Scorch Trials and I loved Scorch Trials. So I think I tried to read Maze Runner, but I don't think I actually read it. Oh my god, I'm such a fake fan. I'm so sorry. But I watched the movie. I hate being that person that just watches the movie. Like, that's when I went to the 5th wave and we had already read the book. Like, both of us had already read the book, so we knew what was going to happen. We knew everything that like went on and stuff. We actually went and saw it twice because we're like really cool like that. They were like freaking out about stuff that would happen. It was just like, should have read the book. I really like the Maze Runner, and I haven't seen Scorch Trials yet, and I need to because, oh my gosh, like, why have I not seen that yet? I'm so excited. I'm like beating myself up about it though because I should have seen it in the movie theater, because then like Dylan O'Brien on the large screen, like, like the nice surround sound, like, I'm just so mad at myself for not seeing that in the movies. But you know, what can you do? Conquest, and it is the Chronicles of the Invaders. It is by John Connolly and Jennifer Rudyard, something cool. Rudyard? I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, let's just move on. Name's cool. I actually have no idea what the series is really about. I just kind of was like, looks cool. Let's get it. So the inside cover is, "The Earth is no longer ours. It is ruled by Illyri, a beautiful, civilized yet ruthless alien species, but humankind has not given up the fight, and Paul Kerr is one of the new generation of young resistance leaders waging war on the invaders. Syl, I'm going to call her Syl. Syl is the first of the Illyri to be born on Earth, trapped inside the walls of her father's stronghold. Hated by the humans, she longs to escape, but on her 16th birthday, Syl's life is about to change forever. She will become an outcast and enemy of her people for daring to save the life of one human, Paul Kerr. Only together do they have a chance of saving each other and the planet they both call home. For there is a greater darkness behind the Illyri conquest of Earth, and the real invasion has not yet begun." So, it's a pretty long book, so I think I'm going to save it for last. I mean, it's not like that much longer than The Death Cure, but I was like, well, I know that, like, I already know what The Death Cure is about, so I'll just read that one next. So this one is going to be, I'm definitely going to read this one after the other books that I finished, finally. I'm excited. The cover looks fucking awesome. I think it's going to be a really good book. I think I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to like it. If you guys liked any of these books or have read any of these books, comment down below, or like any series that you like or that I should read. If you have any books that I should read at all, tell me, because I am in such a book mode right now. Like, I have been like following tons of like book blogs on Instagram, and I've been reading different books and like just seeing all these different books. I honestly love reading so much. Like, if you like book videos like this, give it a like so that I know, and also, you know, comment down below any types of book videos that you would like me to do, like any tags or like different types of videos that I could do with books. I don't really know what I could do. Yeah, so give this a thumbs up if you like it, and also if you are interested in seeing more of my videos, I upload every Tuesday and Friday, so you should totally subscribe and just see more. Cool? Cool. My uploading schedule has been a little bit off, so I'm super sorry about that, but I really hope that February gets better, and the March is better than February has been so far. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Mwah!